Hey guys, what's up, how's it going? Welcome back for another video on today's channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the update for February of my Canadian-based dividend growth stock portfolio. So in today's video, we'll go over the portfolio. I'll give you guys an update how our stocks have been doing as of lately. I'll give you guys an update on my goals, and I'll give you guys an update on things like the dividends, how much you've been contributing inside of our accounts, and what our plans are going further into the future. So if you guys like the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you guys want to be notified of when I publish these videos on a weekly to bi-weekly basis. Just really quickly before we go any further in the video, I just want to mention if you guys want to get $25 when you fund any Wealthsimple account, be sure to check the description of today's video. Use my referral code, click the link, download the app, and you guys will get $25 that you guys can invest inside your portfolio, and you guys will also support the channel. Hey guys, what's up, how's it going? Welcome back to the portfolio update section of the video. So I'll go through our portfolios really quickly here with Wealthsimple Trade. I'll give you guys a quick little overview, give you guys an update on today's performance as well as the past little while, since it's been a little while since I've done a video on this channel showing you guys some of the stuff here. So first of all, we have a total of $132,000 on my Wealthsimple Trade account. If you guys are brand new to the channel, I know we have a lot of new people to the channel. I started building this portfolio in about early 2009 or so, and it went through multiple different accounts, and we made a lot of changes along the ways, but eventually this is kind of like the end result we got. And I also got some other money in my fiance's portfolio as well, which we'll do an overview later on in the video. But the three accounts here, I have a personal account, which I've almost basically got rid of. We have a retirement account, our SB, and then we have our TFSA, which are tax-free savings account. And I'll go through these really quickly here. So we'll start with the TFSA, since it's the biggest account. This is the one I focused on in the beginning. I basically made it a goal to max out my TFSA. And because when I was younger, I didn't use my TFSA, you know, when I started investing, I was like around, it's like 27, 28 years old or something like that. I had lots of contribution room, so I focused on maxing out the TFSA as quickly as possible. And anything inside here you guys will see is of course going to be tax free. So definitely a good opportunity to do if you guys have the space available. Today we are down 0%, a slight dip in the markets. I think the Canadian markets are about neutral today, and the American markets have dipped a little bit. The 1 week return is up about 1%, and most of this is coming from the Canadian stocks. I'll do a quick little overview here really quickly, just in case if you guys are new to the channel, but we hold some small dividend companies, some pretty basic, good quality companies here, a mixture of growth, dividends, and a little bit of income, but not very much. We do have some funds with some income in here, but they're very small holdings. The vast majority of the portfolio is either in growth, with the American market, with VFE, represents a huge chunk of my portfolio. It's been one of the best performing ETFs as well. You know, and I'm young as well, so I like growth. I think I really want to grow my money aggressively, but I do want to have a little bit of balance and flexibility, which is why I have like the Canadian stocks, the dividend stocks, and a tiny bit of income in there. And of course, over time, all of this is going to change. If you guys want to see all my stocks, all my different holdings in greater detail, and you guys can go through at your own pace, there is a link to Blossom Social in the description of today's video. You guys can check it out. You can download the app. It's completely free to use, and you guys can check out my portfolio and all my stocks on there. The 1 month return of our portfolio is 2%, so a little bit of gain in the markets, and the three month return is 7% because the start of the year actually did pretty good. You can see here in January, I made a big lump sum into my TFSA. We put a bunch of money in, but the markets also went up too. The 1 year return from February 21st of 2024 all the way back to 2023, it's about a 15% gain, which is about $17,000. So pretty good gain over the last year. Once again, this is tax free. So TFSA really helpful there. And then the all-time return on here is up about 26%, which is $27,000. And that's just within this one TFSA account. The actual all-time return for my stocks is closer to about 40% gain, which is about $40,000. But that's if we take all my previous accounts, my previous stocks, my previous portfolios, and add them together. So that's something I don't always show in here because my current counts I have only shows the current accounts that, you know, the growth I've had inside these accounts. I moved my money around a lot, so a lot of that gain is not factored in here, but nonetheless, it's still there. The other account we're going to cover really quickly here is going to be the retirement account, because this is the one I've been focusing on, especially of late, because it is almost the end of February. So the end of February, you can't claim any more RSP contributions. So I'm kind of using this as a way to claim some contributions for this year to lower my tax bill a little bit. I've kind of seen the value in doing that. And not only does it lower your tax bill, but it also puts you in a lower income bracket, so that, you know, if there's different things you can qualify with lower income brackets and stuff like that, you can get those as well. It's kind of a cool thing. But nonetheless, I always prioritize TFSA first, and then if you have a little bit extra money, or if you want to save some money come tax season, allocation, you can put some into the RSP. So that's something you guys can do. But the RSP is much more growth focused. We have some Canadian growth stocks in here, and I might be sticking some American stocks in here at some point when I finally get around to doing it. But pretty simple, pretty small account. I just started this, but hey, we're already up a little bit because the markets are starting to go up, specifically the Canadian market. So that's going to be interesting to see, but it's not a big surprise seeing how the past couple of years have not been very great. Okay, so we'll swing over to passive here, and I'll give you guys a quick little update on all our portfolios. So in total, we have $160,000, $161,000 in all of our accounts together. I do have some money also tucked away in some other small accounts, but not very much. That's pretty much the bulk of it. $161,000 there. That's between my TFSA, my fiance's TFSA, and then my small RRSP here. So we're gonna go to the reporting tab, and I'll give you guys a quick little update on things like our contributions. So we'll go year to date. We'll kind of take a peek at the year. So in January, I put a lot of money in. I did take some money out because the way Wealthsimple works is they have like some, actually what happened was I had to move some money into some TFSAs and stuff like that and move some money around. So I did do that, but we did put a lot of money in. And also I was moving some money accounts. So this $10,000 contributions, it's not 10,000, it's actually it's only $3,000 minus 8,000 that I took out. So just be careful with that. It's not 100% accurate. But yeah, $3,000 for January. It was a big year. I had a bunch of money, moved some money around, sold some stuff. So obviously going to be a pretty big month there. But February, we've only put $100 in. So we're kind of basically kind of making it up here. But we will have some money kind of towards the end of the month. I'll put in a couple $100, and then we have the dividends as well for this month that will go for February. But we started the year off strong. We were saving pretty aggressively, and then February is going to be a little bit of a step back, but going into the next couple months, it'll be back to regular. So let's take a quick little peek at the year-to-date returns. So this is our portfolio. We have $3,000 in contributions, like I mentioned, average about $1,500 between the 2 months. That's between both of our accounts. That's why the contributions and the withdrawals are so big, because this takes into factor all of our accounts. So if I touch one account to move something around, or if I sell the stocks in my personal account, which is what I did, it's going to get tracked in there. Net change is about $10,000 already, and our rate of return is just under 5%, and that's about $7,000 in investment growth. We can take a peek at the dividend history. So January for dividends, we made $700, just under $700. Here's all my stocks here, as passive can show us. Obviously, our biggest dividends coming from VFE and VDY, our big ETFs, as well as HYLD, giving us some big dividends there since one of our covered call ETFs. And then in February, we're currently at about $400. I think we still have a few dividends that pay out for the end of February, but I'm not too sure. We should be around 4 to maybe 450 or something like that, but we'll kind of see how things go. In total, dividend income is $1,000 already, so it's already looking pretty good for the year. Now, if we go 1 year return, we'll kind of take a quick peek so I can show you guys more of the bigger picture here. So dividend history for 1 year, I'll just zoom in here a little bit. Maybe you guys can see this a little bit better. But here's the dividend history from last year. So I don't have January in here, but February we had $252, and you can see how it's kind of steadily growing. And then if we go all time, this is by year, so this is the dividend history by year, and we can see 2020, this is the total amount of dividends. So it's been pretty exponentially growing here, with every year kind of just doing a little bit better. So it's going to be cool to see. And again, dividend income all time is $10,000, almost hit $11,000 in terms of dividend income. So things are going pretty sweet there. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update, because it's always nice to see those dividends growing over time. And last but not least, I'll show you guys the total return of our stocks, since a lot of our Canadian stocks have kind of jumped up a little bit. We did get, like I mentioned, a good start to the year with the American stocks doing quite well. And then the Canadian stocks kind of lagged behind a little bit, but I do see them kind of going up a little bit. And I do predict that this year we should have a nice return for the Canadian stocks. It's hard to predict, right? But we just had some pretty mediocre years. It's only a matter of time before things that's kind of the way the cycles work, right? So my prediction for this year would be like a lower year for the American markets, maybe a good year. American markets always can continue to surprise everybody, including myself. They just had such a good run over the past like decade or so, or even 2 almost for that matter. But the Canadian stocks, they typically kind of go back and forth. I mean, all markets do, but we've just seen the American markets do really well, and the Canadian stocks, I think, they're bound for a good year. I think it's going to happen this year, but we'll have to wait and see. But here's the total return of all of our stocks here, right here. This little column right here is what you guys want for each individual ticker across all of our accounts. So this takes into factor all the accounts that I have here. You can look at the individual tickers here, and you can see the biggest returns. Obviously, pay attention to the bigger holdings, you know, the bigger book values, because the smaller ones, you know, you could just buy them and hold them and you're going to get a bigger percentage return, or that return's not really going to matter that much. But some of these smaller ones are obviously the more individual ones I've bought recently. But a lot of the big ones here are going to be like the ETFs and whatnot. But we can see like there's just been pretty consistent and pretty solid, giving us some pretty solid returns here. So I'm pretty happy with that. And again, going down towards the bottom, I think in the last update, a lot of the Canadian stocks were down, but we've seen like a lot of that bounce back, especially in terms of the growth. You know, you buy them when the dividends, like TELUS is a great example. You know, a lot of people bought during the dip last year, and because it has such a big dividend yield, you get a nice little, even though the stock is down, like from a growth perspective, down 11%, I actually have a plus 7% return almost. From the dividends just compounding and whatnot. So it's always interesting to kind of look at some of those funds. And again, total return always matters the most. I like to kind of always say this because it can be misleading if you're just looking at a stock graph. But nonetheless, you have to be honest and look at the actual facts of what the return is and decide if that's right for you, if that's something you're happy with. Again, but there's a lot of factors here that determine this. But you know, my biggest stocks have always been some of the individual growth ones, as well as just the ETFs. But I do buy into the ETFs a lot on a regular basis, so my average cost goes up. So the percentages always are going to be a little bit pushed down. But the benefit of that is my portfolio grows the fastest and the biggest it can grow, which is why I've been able to take, you know, a portfolio of like a couple $1,000 and turn it into $163,000 after like five years or so. So that's the value there. But anyways, guys, that's it for the quick little update here. I'll close out the video and we'll go from there. So before we end the video for today, I just want to mention really quickly, guys, I have gotten a few comments for people who want me to bring back the living off our dividends case study. This is kind of a video series I was kind of doing in the past when I first started my channel, which was super fun to do, and it involved more budgeting and frugal living and stuff like that. And it was basically me and my fiance taking our dividends and showing you guys how you guys could kind of use them on a regular basis. Now, we were kind of just pretending doing this for fun, but a lot of this was kind of cool too. It was very inspiring for us. It kept us motivated. We were tracking things and stuff like that. So if you guys want us to bring that back, we could definitely do that. And I've gotten a lot of requests for that in the comment section, and I'd love to do it. I stopped doing it because the videos were really long and I wasn't sure if people were enjoying them and getting value, but it does seem like a lot of you guys like that series, and I did like doing it. So maybe we'll bring it back and we'll start with some budgeting. We'll start like kind of, you know, covering our basic costs with our dividends and stuff like that. Of course, this is just kind of make believe. I don't actually use my dividends. I'm reinvesting them, but we can see how over time, as we grow our investments, as we grow our stocks, our income rises, we can kind of enjoy the little things, and it makes our life that much easier. So maybe we'll do that again. I think it'd be a cool little thing to do. Maybe in the next video series, if you guys want to leave a comment, let me know. I could definitely get that series rolling again, and maybe it'll like start off with the basics, like covering for our grocery bill or covering for our rent or covering for those little mini expenses or some different budgets that we can create and stuff like that, because that was a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll get that rolling. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care. I'll see you guys later, and have yourself a good one.